So here we are back again in part 2 of the movie on how to install a wedge-tail ignition system in a later model bike with the timing can. I've been in here already. I've taken the can out. I'll explain how to do that in a second. It is absolutely essential when you do this that you disconnect the battery before you attempt to take the front cover off the bike. There's the front cover sitting on the floor there. If you do not, and if you touch it against the live chassis up here in the voltage regulator, you will blow a diode in the regulator and it will cost you a new regulator. And it can melt wires. So don't. Disconnect the battery before you begin. Now this is the female plug here that the ignition can goes into, and you can see once again it's got one of those sprung retaining clips in it that's got to be prized apart, prized open outwards from each end this way to let the wire off the lugs that are on the can. Now here's one of the reasons that people are changing to later ignitions and upgrading. This is a plug, an original plug off an original can, and you can see that it's leaking oil out of the O-ring there. The weights are well and truly worn in this one, and the plug has disintegrated. Now the problem with that plug is that, oh dear, this camera's playing up today. They crumble. When they're brand new, they're white. They go a very pale caramelly colour as they age, and then they get dark brown with the heat, and they quite literally, I've already broken this, taken it out, they just fall to bits in your hands. Okay, you can buy now a replacement plug for them, but they are not a real breeze to fit. They can be fitted, but now they're falling apart like this. Even when I took the spring clip off the female plug and just gave it a little wriggle to pull it out, the whole thing fell apart. That's what happens when you're stepping around on the side of the road. So I've sprung the wire on that clip there that I showed you just before. I pulled this out. I undid two little cap bolts down there. You can see the two shiny circles either side of the hole, and in the middle is the camshaft with a slot in it, which I'm going to move around in a minute. So take the two cap bolts out and just wriggle the can out once you've taken the wire apart. Now because the plug fell apart when I pulled it out, there were remnants of the broken plug left inside this one. Oh, this is really hard today. It's overcast and the light keeps changing and it's just a mission. But anyway, we'll get it done. I couldn't get it out this far. I had to take it apart, take the starter cover off, disconnect the wiring out of the keeper up here and poke it down through there so I could get the remnants of the old plug out. So now I've got to put all that back together when I'm finished. Oh, yuck. Anyway, that's what happens when you're working on these old girls. Sometimes that sort of thing happens. The new can comes with a brand new plug. Now I'm just going to do a couple of other things and I'll show you how to set this up. So you need a number 6 Allen key like this, and you fit it into the center of the alternator bolt. You must take the spark plugs out, both sides, or you'll have compression going against you and make it difficult. I always put the plug back in the cap and earth it on the cylinder. That way you can't cause any damage or anything like that. And also when you spin the engine over, before you put all the covers and everything back on, you can check and make sure you've got a spark there. Okay? Now, what you have to do, you don't worry about timing the engine yet. That's a bit off. But what you really do need to do is move the engine around. Can you see in there that the camshaft is moving? You need to know that the camshaft gear goes around once for every 2 rotations of the crankshaft. Now, a lot of people will already know that, but some people may not. So I'm just getting I'm doing this all one-handed, so it's a bit difficult. Now, what I'm trying to do now is set that camshaft slot up so it's parallel to the ground. and it's a bit hard with the camera going, but anyway, I'm trying to do it. Don't mind all the shaking about. There you go. Now the reason I'm going to do that, I'm going to pause the camera. I'm back again now, and we've got the wedge tail can here ready to fit back in. You can see there's a brand new plug that will work on the female plug there in the top, all ready to go on. And on the bottom there's the same offset keyway and reverse that you just saw in the camshaft. So it's not in the center, you see. If I turn it over this way, first of all, the first thing you see is that triangle's pointing up in the air, and the offset keyway is below the center point of the axle that runs through and drives the can. Now that makes it easy to fit. That's why I've done it that way. So what I do is I put a little bit of Lanatec or CRC or anything like that, a little bit of light rubber grease on that O-ring to allow it to slip into place. And then I'm going to just pause this now. I'm sorry to keep doing this to you, but it's just what happens when you're on your own. So here we are back again now, looking at the can has been fitted. It took me about a minute, probably 3 minutes by the time I put the screws back in and hooked the plug up. A couple of things you need to notice. The first is that the point on the triangle is facing upwards. The second is that the cord is running up there and is inside that casting on the front timing cover, and it has to be inside or you will pinch it and wreck it when you try to put the front cover back on. So it's plugged back in to the female plug up there, and that is to all intents and purposes now ready to go, except you have to time it. So what you do to time it, oh gee, this is being difficult today. Turn the can fully clockwise. When you put the nuts in that hold the can, the cap bolts here, these ones, just tighten them down till they're just snug on the can, just snug, so you can still rotate it easily, but so that the can doesn't wobble. You just want it like that, right? Turn it fully clockwise. Now you've got everything else plugged in. Don't worry about all this stuff up here. That's just all periphery that I've got to put back together. But now essentially your wedge tail is installed, and once again I'm going to pause it and I'm going to go around the other side and hook up the battery, and then I'm going to show you how it all works. So here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. You can see now that I've rotated the crankshaft once I've fitted the can. I put the offset keyway slot in the right position underneath the center line, turned the keyway in the can to match it, put the triangle on the top of the can to the top, and it just went home like easy as, with a little bit of lubricant on the O-ring. Then I've put the Allen key in the alternator bolt here, with the plugs out here, the S mark showing in there, and we're now ready to time the can. This is a very straightforward process with the wedge tail ignition. All you need to do, the first thing you should do though, is what I always do when I'm not talking on a phone, is take this out. Come out of there, please. Hang on, I've got to go back and do this again. Just wait. There we go. I didn't look properly at the setup of that Allen key, and I had it jammed up on the pipe at the top here, so I've knocked it off the S mark. I've just put it back there. Now I'm going to take that out so we don't forget it and hit the starter and destroy half the wiring in the front of the bike. Okay, so the can is rotated fully clockwise. The mark is on the S there, you can see. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my seat around the other side of the bike. This has been a long time coming, this movie. I'm sorry it's a little bit symbolic, but it just is how it is. Now we're going to turn on the key here. Right, so it's on now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the can and I'm going to rotate it very carefully anti-clockwise. And when you go up here and look on the trigger, you will see it will get to a point where it just turns the lights on. See, the trigger light is just before the coil wire there. Once again, it is very difficult to hold a camera on this and move the trigger around. I'm just going to put it down for a second. Sorry to keep doing this to you, but I'm trying to give you the most detail I can. Right, I'm back again. I've just put the phone down for a second and I've turned the ignition can anti-clockwise until that blue light on the trigger just illuminated. Bearing in mind that the crankshaft is lined up at the S mark and the ignition is turned on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this phone down for a second and I'm going to snug the can up, and then I'm going to wind it over on the starter motor and check that we've got spark. Righto, here we go. Everything's ready to go. We've got it all set up to try. I'm not going to start the bike, but I did tell you earlier to earth the plugs out on the cylinders. These plugs probably need to be replaced. They're not even a brand I've ever heard of. And there you have it. Same on this side, except the plug's facing away and I can't get it on the camera. Try it now. Now here's a funny thing. You see that spark then? What that is the coil drivers being turned off after 3 seconds without a hit from the hall trigger. That stops you from burning out your coils. If you happen to stall the bike and you leave the ignition on by mistake, if the brain in this module does not get a hit from the trigger for 3 seconds, it turns itself off. Now it happens to have just stopped on the right place for the trigger to work, there. But you can see here, watch. And that is how it diagnoses itself continuously if it's running, to show you that both circuits within that module are functioning correctly. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of finer points to get this all into one perspective. This is now all locked up, but you will notice that you can see the wire I've pushed down inside that lip on there. We get warranty claims, which aren't really warranty claims, although we have been honouring them because I haven't had a chance to make a movie for the last little while, for cut wires. And they are wires that get out when you're putting the front cover on, and they catch between the front cover and this thing here and they get pinched. And there's no way in the world the system will work if that is what the problem is. Okay, so there you go, WEDGETAIL Ignitions Australia, post 1980 ignition can system installation. These will be in different places, but they have the same function regardless of where they're mounted. The can must always have the triangle with the point facing up, and you must make sure that you disconnect the battery a second time before you go to put the front cover back on, so that you don't burn your diode board out. Stay safe, ride well, until we meet again.